Good evening, children.
Good evening, ma'am. Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening. Yes, children. I just thought we'll solve some MCQs from the chapter linear equations. Yeah, so I will be uploading this as an exam for you. So you don't have to write down the questions. I will make the same available for you as an exam. So now you just mark your answers and you can just take up the exam later. So don't write the questions. Just work it in your book roughly if needed and answer it. Yeah, the first one. Which is the correct option for the first one?
Infinitely many solutions, ma'am.
Infinitely many solutions. Yes, the correct option is infinitely many solutions. Any linear equation in two variables. You can see there are two variables x and y. Any linear equation in two variables x and y has infinitely many solutions. Any linear equation in two variables x and y has infinitely many solutions. Correct. Yeah, which is the correct option for the second one.
C, ma'am.
C, again from Madhumita, is it?
Danya, ma'am.
Danya, okay, Danya. C, why C, Danya?
Ma'am,
Why
because
C?
linear equation always lies in a straight line.
Yeah, because when it is linear, the graphical representation is always a straight line. It's not a curve. It's not a curve. A linear relationship between x and y. That means a linear a linear relationship between x and y, meaning it's a linear meaning it's of a straight line. Let me put it that way. Linear is of a straight line. So a linear relationship between x and y, meaning a straight line. So all the other options represent curves. C is the only option that represents a straight line. You can see the arrows on either ends. So linear is of a straight line. And of these four graphs, graph C represents a straight line. It's not a line segment. It's a line because you can see the arrows on either ends. So option C is the correct option. Very good. Yeah, this one. Which of the following is a solution of the linear equation 7x plus 3y is equal to 42?
Ma'am, C, ma'am.
C. This is from Sindhu, is it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. C. Okay. So in option C, we have x is equal to 3 and y is equal to 7. So let's take the LHS of the given equation, 7x plus 3y. So 7 into 3 plus 3 into 7, 21 plus 21, 42. And the RHS is also 42. So LHS is equal to the RHS. So 3 comma 7 satisfies the equation. 3 comma 7, the point 3 comma 7 satisfies the equation, the given equation. So 3 comma 7 is a solution of the given equation. Which one of the following? So you can just, to be safe, try the others also. You can try the others. So 3 comma 7 is the correct option. Any questions? Others?
No, ma'am.
No
No
doubts.
doubt, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, this concept I have not explained to you, so I'll do it in the next class. The graph of y is equal to a lies below x-axis when? I haven't spoken about this in the class. We'll do it in the next class. Yeah. What is the value of m?
A, ma'am. Ma'am, A, ma'am.
A. All right. So x is 2. So m into the value of x is minus 2. So minus 2 plus 2 into the value of y is minus 1 is equal to 15. So minus 2m minus 2 is equal to 15. Minus 2m is equal to 17. M is equal to minus 17 by 2. Minus 17 by 2. All right. Yeah, 3 solutions of this equation are
Ma'am, A option, ma'am. B,
sorry.
ma'am. B.
Ma'am, option D.
D or B, children?
Ma'am, B.
B for book?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. This one. Let me check. So in the equation, the LHS is 2x minus y. So 2 into 2 minus 3. 4 minus 3. 1, which is the RHS. All right. Then next 2 into 0 minus 1. So it's 0 plus 1, which is 1, correct? And then 2 into 1 minus 0. Does
Ma'am, I got the answers. Option A, ma'am.
option? No, one
A.
minute. 1 minute. Children, the third point in option B, the third point in option B is 1 comma 0. See here, 2x minus y, 2 into 1 minus 0 is 2, right? But the RHS is 1. So is B the correct option, children? No, right?
No, ma'am. One is
Yeah, which one? It's not B because the third point does not satisfy the equation.
Ma'am, A, ma'am.
A. A. Okay, let's try A. So in A, we have the first point 1 comma 1. So it will be 2 into 1 minus 1, which is 2 minus 1, 1, which is the RHS. Okay, then the second point minus 2 comma minus 5. So 2 into minus 2 minus minus 5. So minus 4 plus 5, correct, 1. Then the third point, 7 comma 13, 7 comma 13, 2 into 7, okay, minus 13. So 14 minus 13, which is 1. Yes. Who said A? Perfect.
Ma'am, Sanjay, ma'am.
Who's that?
Sanjay, ma'am.
Sanjay. Okay, good, Sanjay. A. A is the correct option. Because all the 3 points given in A satisfies the equation 2x minus y is equal to 1. All of you agree?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
All the 3 points. Yeah. All the 3 points in option A satisfies the given linear equation. So A is the correct option. So somebody said B, but in B, 1 comma 0 does not satisfy the equation. So B is not the correct option. Okay, A. The correct option is A. All the 3 points in A satisfy the linear equation given. Yeah. This one also I need to explain. It's okay. We'll do it in the next class because I have 25 questions. I want to finish most of it. Remember, so I think 4 and 7. It's simple. 7 is simple, but I need to explain. So we'll see it in the next class. Yeah, this one. Find the value of K.
Ma'am, A, ma'am. 4, ma'am.
4. And
Ma'am,
the
A.
children.
Ma'am. A.
Okay, so children, the material which I've sent to you on WhatsApp, please complete that by Saturday. Please finish all that by Saturday.
Ma'am, I completed, ma'am.
Who's that?
Ma'am, Sindhu, ma'am.
Okay,
Ma'am, I
so
also
fast.
completed, ma'am.
Ma'am, the lines and angles only, ma'am.
Sorry?
Ma'am, lines and angles only, no, ma'am.
Yeah, the I think the 12 or 16 questions which I shared
15,
on
ma'am.
WhatsApp.
15
15.
questions.
Yeah, you finished, huh? All of them?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, that's great.
I
Okay.
also finished, ma'am.
Srijana, is it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good, good. Okay.
Ma'am, I completed 10 questions, ma'am.
Tanya, all right, very good. That's good. Yeah, all of you, please finish it completed in full by Saturday. Okay, so the value of K is 4. The value of K is 4. Yeah. This one.
Ma'am, B, ma'am.
B, is it? B.
D,
Is it
ma'am.
this?
D, ma'am.
C as in cat, huh?
Ma'am, D for dog.
Okay, D. All right. Okay, so this is by Sindhu and Sanjay. All right. So when you work the given equation, 2x plus 0y plus 9 is equal to 0. We get 2x, 0y is 0. So leave it. So you get 2x is equal to minus 9 because 0y is 0. You can ignore it. So 2x is equal to minus 9. X is equal to minus 9 by 2. What do we understand by this? X is always minus 9 by 2. X is always minus 9 by 2 for any value of y. X is always minus 9 by 2 for any value of y. For any value of y, anything can be 0, 5, minus 10 for any value of y. But x is always minus 9 by 2. So as Sindhu and Sanjay said, the correct option is D because in D, in D, you can see that x is always minus 9 by 2 for any value of y. For any value of y. Nowhere else. See here, x is not minus 9 by 2. X is not minus 9 by 2. X is not minus 9 by 2. Here, x is minus 9 by 2. And M suggests that the value of y can be anything. M is a variable. M is a variable. It's not a constant. That means, you know, a variable can take any value. So M, because it can take any value. Minus 9/2 is a constant. For x, it is minus 9/2. It's a constant. So that means the value of x is always minus 9/2 for any value of y. Just a second, children. Just yeah, children. So on solving this, I'm repeating 2x plus 0y you can ignore. 0y is 0. So we have 2x plus 9 is equal to 0. 2x is equal to minus 9. X is equal to minus 9/2. That means x is always minus 9/2. X is always minus 9/2. X is always minus 9/2 for any value of y. For any value of y, minus 100, 1, 0, whatever value of y. That is why the y coordinate is a variable here. A variable can take any value. But see the x coordinate, it's a constant, which is minus 9/2, because x is always minus 9/2. So D is the correct option. D is the correct option. Because in option D, x is always minus 9/2. X coordinate is always minus 9/2. And the y coordinate is m. M is a variable, which means the y coordinate can take any value because it's a variable there, m. All right. This one?
B, ma'am. Y is equal to 0.
Yeah, correct, Danya. The equation of the x-axis is of the form y is equal to 0. I'm not explaining this. We have seen it many times. The equation of the x-axis is y is equal to 0. Then what is x is equal to 0? It is the equation of the
Y-axis.
Y-axis.
y-axis. Okay, y-axis, because uh, on the x-axis, this point is given by 1, 0. This is 2, 0. This is 3, 0. And on this side, we have minus 1, 0. Then we have minus 2, 0, and so on. On the y-axis, it is 0, 1, 0, 2, and so on. And below we have 0, minus 1, 0, minus 2, and so on. So what do we observe? On the x-axis, look at the points on the x-axis. The y coordinate is always 0. Look at the points on the x-axis. The y coordinate is always 0. So y is equal to 0 is the equation of the x-axis. Look at the points on the y-axis. On the y-axis, the x coordinate is always 0. See here 0, 2, 0, 1, 0, minus 1. On the y-axis, the x coordinate is always 0. So x is equal to 0. X is equal to 0 is the equation of the y-axis. Y is equal to 0. Y is equal to 0 is the equation of the x-axis. On the x-axis, y coordinate is always 0. Y coordinate is always 0. So y is equal to 0 is the equation of the x-axis. On the y-axis, the x coordinate is always 0. So x is equal to 0 is the equation of the y-axis. So for this one, equation of the x-axis is y is equal to 0. This is the equation of the y-axis. So this is the correct option. Y is equal to 0. Yeah.
A, ma'am.
A, ma'am.
A, ma'am.
A.
A. Okay. A. The graph of y is equal to 8. Y is equal to 8. So y is equal to 8 is a line parallel to the x-axis at a distance of 8 units from the origin. But are you sure it is A?
Ma'am, because the graph of y is equal to A or something
Okay,
is
1 minute,
parallel.
children. Sorry, 1 minute. What do we mean by making an intercept of 8 on the x-axis? Making an intercept of 8 on the x-axis. What do we mean by that? Okay, again, I have not spoken to you about x-intercept and y-intercept, right? X-intercept, y-intercept, right? Have I spoken to you about x-intercept and y-intercept, children? No, I remember. No. Okay, so the answer or the correct option to this question may be A. But I need to tell you about the intercept. I need to explain about the intercepts. So we'll hold this question also for Saturday. Children, today I'm not sitting in a comfortable position. So I won't be comfortable explaining. So which is why I'm just pushing it to the next class. Yeah, so make a note of the numbers. 4, 10 and 11, is it? Please make a note of the numbers. Yeah, 4. One of you or all of you can make a note of the numbers 4. What was the other one? Yeah, this one, 7. 7, 4, 7 and 11. The option may be A, but I need to talk about intercepts. So I'm pushing it to the next class. Yeah, this one.
C, ma'am.
C. Ma'am.
Ma'am, option C.
Option C.
C. X plus y is equal to 7. 5 plus 2 is equal to 7. Yeah, correct. Correct. X plus y is equal to 7. 5 plus 2 is equal to 7. Option C. Correct.
Ma'am, it remains the same, ma'am.
It remains the same. It remains the same. So supposing, we have this equation x plus y is equal to 4. Now, on the graph, on the graph paper, so x plus y is equal to 4. So it will be like 1, 3, 1, 3, 2, 2, 1, 3, then 2, 2, 3, 1. So like this. Okay, so it will be kind of like this, the line. Okay, so this is x plus y is equal to 4. This is the line x plus y is equal to 4. Now the question is, now on this line, there are so many points. On this line, on this graph line, there are so many points because it's a line. And every point on this line is a solution to the equation x plus y is equal to 4. Now, supposing we multiply this equation throughout by 2 or 3, 3x plus 3y is equal to 12. Now, when you make the XY table, for this equation and plot the points, you will get the same line. The equation looks different. 3x plus 3y is equal to 12. It looks different. How did we get this equation? We multiplied this equation x plus y is equal to 4 throughout by 3. So 3x plus 3y is equal to 12. Now, when you make the xy table for this equation, 3x plus 3y is equal to 12, and make the graph, you will get the same line. You may get different points to plot, but when you join those points, those 3 points, you'll get the same line. So that means if it's the same line, all the points on the line will be the solutions of this equation, and they are already the solutions of this equation. So that means the solutions will not change. The solutions will remain the same because you will get the same line. When you make the graph of that new line, you will get the same line on the graph paper. When you make the graph of that new equation, you will get the same line on the graph paper. So the solutions will not change. Even if you divide the equation, suppose you divide by 2, x by 2 plus y by 2 is equal to 4 by 2. So 4 by 2 is 2. When you make the xy table for this equation and plot those points, you will get the same line. You may get different points to plot, but when you join those 3 points, you'll get the same line. So that means the solutions don't change. So if you multiply or divide both the sides of a linear equation with a non-zero number, not 0, you should not multiply or divide by 0, by a non-zero number, then the solution of the linear equation remains the same. The solutions of the linear equation remains the same. When you multiply or divide both the sides of the linear equation with a non-zero number, so you're getting an equivalent equation. When you multiply or divide both the sides of the linear equation with a non-zero number, the resultant equation is called an equivalent equation. That new equation is called an equivalent equation. And when you make the graph of that equation, you will get the same line on the graph paper as you got for the original equation. So the solutions also will be the same. So it remains the same. Yeah.
C, ma'am.
C, is it? Is it C?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Danya says C. How many linear equations in x and y can be satisfied by x is equal to 3 and y is equal to 2?
Infinitely many, ma'am.
C, ma'am.
How? There's only one
Option
point.
C, ma'am.
No. How do you? Why can't it be only one?
Ma'am, because we're not sure about the symbols and it can be 5x or 3x or anything like that, ma'am. We can form multiple equations with it.
Ma'am, the solution on RHS is not given now.
Okay, so infinitely many, is it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, the option is correct, but I'll explain why it is. So x is equal to 3, y is equal to 2. That means the point is 3, 2. The point is 3, 2. So we know that there are infinitely many lines passing through a given point. We know that, see, we have one. Okay, 1 minute. Let me say this. Now, when you have 2 points like this, there is one and only one line that can be drawn passing through 2 given points. We know that. When you have 2 points in a plane, there is one and only one line that can be drawn passing through 2 given points in a plane. But when you're given one point in a plane, only one point, we know that we can draw infinitely many lines passing through that point. Okay, if this is the given point, we know that we can draw infinitely many lines passing through this point. Passing through this point. There are so many lines, infinitely many lines passing through this point. And this point is 3, 2. You know, every point, now this is 3, 2. This is the address of a point. And you know that this has a position in the Cartesian plane. 3, 2 has a position in the Cartesian plane. So supposing this is 3, 2, you can draw so many lines. X is equal to 3, y is equal to 2 means 3, 2. 3, 2. Instead of saying 3, 2, it's given x is equal to 3 and y is equal to 2. That means the ordered pair is 3, 2. So 3, 2, say, is this point in the Cartesian plane. We can draw so many lines, infinitely many lines. And every line has an equation. Every line has an equation. Every straight line has an equation. So how many linear equations? Infinitely many linear equations. Is that okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
the question here is, we are given one point. We are given 1 point, 3, 2. And the question is, how many linear equations will this point 3, 2 satisfy? That's the question. How many linear equations will this point 3, 2 satisfy? The point is 3, 2. How many equations will this point 3, 2 satisfy? So that point 3, 2 will satisfy this equation. It will satisfy this equation. It will satisfy this equation, this equation, this equation, this equation, this one, this one, this one, because it lies on all the lines. How do we know it's satisfied? Because see, it lies, that point 3, 2 lies on all these lines. There are infinitely many lines, and this point 3, 2 lies on all the lines. If it lies on all the lines, it will satisfy all the lines. Okay, I hope it's understood. Yeah, children?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, children, good. Yeah, the point of the form A, A always lies on
C, ma'am.
C. Danya, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Very good. Correct. C is the correct option. Because A, meaning 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4. A, A. X coordinate is A, Y coordinate is also A. So like 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4. So will it all, so these points will, does it lie on the x-axis? 1, maybe 0, 0 will lie on the x-axis and the y-axis. 0, 0. A, 0, 0. But what about 1, 1? Does it lie on the x-axis? No. 2, 2. Does it lie on the x-axis? No. Similarly, 1, 1. Does it lie on the y-axis? No, 1, 1 does not lie on the y-axis. See, children, okay, now we haven't done coordinate geometry here, but let me ask you this question. Now, if I give you, okay, any point, okay, how many positions are there here? Like you say, first quadrant, second quadrant, like that, how many positions are there for a point? If I give you a point, in how many different positions? Not one point, like I'm trying to say, like the answer now, if I say any particular point, how many answers can you think of? Like for example, it can lie in the, if a particular point can lie in the first quadrant, it can lie in the second quadrant. So like that, how many answers can you think of? A point can lie in the first quadrant, second quadrant, third quadrant, fourth quadrant, then where else can it lie?
X-axis, y-axis.
X-axis, y-axis.
It can lie on the x-axis, it can lie on the y-axis. So if there's a point on the x-axis, if there's a point on the x-axis, supposing this point 3, 0, in which quadrant does it lie? In which quadrant does it lie, first or fourth quadrant? We all know that this is the first quadrant, this is the second quadrant, this is the third quadrant, and this is the fourth quadrant. Okay, now 3, 0, 3, 0. Just a minute, children, I'm getting a call. Just a minute. Yeah, children. Sorry. Yes, children. So I was asking you, on the Cartesian plane, we can see these 4 quadrants, first quadrant, second, third, and fourth quadrant. Now, my question is, in which quadrant does the point 3, 0 lie? Does it lie in the first quadrant or fourth quadrant?
First quadrant.
Or first and fourth? What is the answer?
First and fourth, ma'am.
First quadrant.
First quadrant. Because you'll have to give some answer, right? It should lie somewhere. Yeah. Yeah, how many of you say first quadrant? Raise your hand. First quadrant, raise your hand. Danya?
X-axis.
No. 1 minute. Danya says first quadrant, Sindhu and Sanjay first quadrant, Krishmi first quadrant, Tanushka first quadrant. Okay, how many of you say fourth quadrant? How many of you say fourth quadrant? Lower your hands. Those of you who said first quadrant, lower your hands. Oh, you're saying both, is it? Krishmi. Okay. Fourth quadrant.
Ma'am,
I guess.
Ma'am, I think it's both first and fourth quadrant.
Okay, both first and
Yes,
fourth.
ma'am, both
Madhumita.
quadrants.
Chaitra also
And
says
both first and fourth.
Srijana also both first and fourth. Very good. Yeah. Then others? Yes, Arjun, you wanted to say something?
Both first and fourth quadrant.
No. First you said something. I stopped you.
X-axis.
You're right, Arjun. Perfect. It does not lie in any quadrant. 3, 0 does not lie in any quadrant. It lies on the x-axis.
ma'am, actually I came to say that only, ma'am.
Okay. Yeah. Very good. If you had that in your mind, very good. So the point 3, 0 does not lie in any quadrant. It lies on the x-axis. Similarly, this point, say supposing 0, -7, 0, -7. It does not lie in the third quadrant. It does not lie in the fourth quadrant. It lies on the y-axis. It lies on the y-axis. Okay, many of you might have thought of that answer, but maybe I confused you. Meaning I pressurized you to say one of the four quadrants. So maybe you answered that. Still, I want you all to understand that a point can lie in the first quadrant, in the second quadrant, in the third quadrant, in the fourth quadrant, on the x-axis, on the y-axis. These are the 6 different positions a point can take in a Cartesian plane. It need not lie in one of the 4 quadrants only. If it is not in one of the 4 quadrants, it may be on the x-axis or on the y-axis. That was what I was trying to clarify. Clear, children?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So a point can lie on the x-axis, on the y-axis, or in the first quadrant, in the second quadrant, in the third quadrant, in the fourth quadrant. Very good, children. So this point A, A, this point A, A, it's like 1, 1, 2, 2, and so on. So it does not, 1, 1 does not lie on the x-axis. 2, 2 does not lie on the y-axis. Then on the line x plus y is equal to 0. How 1 plus 1 is not 0? Supposing the point 1, 1. 1 plus 1 is not 0, no? So it's not this also. So on the line y is equal to x. You can straight away say y is equal to x because you see here A, A, x and y are equal. X and y are equal. A is equal to A. That means x is equal to y. So on the line y is equal to x or x is equal to y, whatever, both are the same. This is the correct option. All right. Yeah, this one. Yeah, children.
Option D, ma'am.
Option D, is it?
Yes, ma'am.
D, okay. Okay.
I think it's A.
A, okay. A, all right.
Ma'am, A.
Who was that? A again, Madhumita and
Krishmika, ma'am.
Krishmika. Krishmika also says A. Sindhu and Sanjay say D. So we know that when a line.
Ma'am, I think it's C.
Tanya, okay, D. So we know that when a
C,
yeah,
ma'am.
D. B.
C, ma'am. C for cat.
Okay, C. Oh, who's that C? Tanya. X is equal to 0 is the equation of the y-axis. X is equal to 0 is the equation of the y-axis, not of the line M. Not of the line M. Okay, so we know that when a line is parallel to the, see, though it's not given, you should understand. You know, it's not given, but you know that M is parallel to the y-axis. That means its equation will be like X is equal to A. And it is to the right of the y-axis. So it will be positive. Positive means greater than 0. A greater than 0 indicates positive. A less than 0 indicates negative. A is equal to 0 means A is equal to 0. See, how can you classify all the numbers, you know, in the universe? All the numbers, all real numbers, how can you classify them? Maybe it is equal to 0 or greater than 0, less than 0. Simple. We have classified all the numbers. Broad classification of all the numbers, all real numbers. Either it can be 0 or it should be more than 0 or less than 0. Doesn't it include all the real numbers? Now, when you take a number, maybe it's 0 or it's greater than 0 or it is less than 0. So that way we have included all the real numbers. All real numbers can be broadly classified into these three. Either it is 0 or more than 0 or less than 0. So that is what it is. A greater than 0 means A is positive. Greater than 0. All the numbers greater than 0 are positive. All the numbers less than 0 are negative. Think about it. Give you some time. A greater than 0 means positive. A greater than 0 means positive. A less than 0. If the value is less than 0, that means it's negative. The value is negative. Or it can be A is equal to 0. A is equal to 0 means A is equal to 0. It's neither positive nor negative. A greater than 0 indicates it is positive. A is positive. A less than 0 indicates A is negative. Okay, so here A greater than 0 means A is positive. A is positive. A is positive. It means A is positive. So what is it? X is equal to A and the value of A is positive. Now, when this line is parallel to the y-axis, this line M is parallel to the y-axis, right? So its equation will be like X is equal to something. X is equal to A. And it is a positive A because it's to the right of the y-axis. So it is a positive A. That's what it is. A greater than 0. When the lines are parallel, children, there will be only one variable, X or Y. You can treat it as an equation in two variables, X and Y. But you know, like when when X and Y, when the coefficient of X and the coefficient of Y is something other than 0. No, I don't want to make it very complicated. Let me put it in very, very simple words so that all of us understand. See here, when a line is parallel to the X or the Y axis, there will be only one variable, X or Y. If there is X, it will be 0Y. If there is Y, it will be 0X. Both X and Y will not be there. If a line is parallel, if a line is parallel to the x-axis or the y-axis, the equation of that line will have only one variable, x or y. If there is x, it is 0y. If there is y, it is 0x. So this y and x cannot be there. Y and x both cannot be there when it's parallel. That, see, they've given you m is not equal to 0. That means m is not 0. M is like 1, 2, 3, something like that. So maybe y is equal to 2x. M is not 0, right? M is not 0. So supposing m is 2, y is equal to 2x. Such a line will not be parallel to x or y axis. Because there will be 0y or 0x. Here it is 1y and 2x. Here it is 1y and 2x. No. When a line is parallel to the x or y axis, there will be one variable x. If there is x, it will be 0y. Or if there is y, it will be 0x. But here it is 2x and 1y. No, this is not the equation of a line parallel to the x or y axis. Similarly, see here, y is equal to mx plus c. M is not 0, c is also not 0. M is not 0, C is not 0. So supposing M is 3 and C is 5. Supposing, because they're saying M is not 0 and C is also not 0. So say 3 and 5. Y is equal to 3x plus 5. So see 3x and 1y. 3x and 1y. No, it can't be parallel. If there is x, it should be 0y. If there's y, it should be 0x. But here it's 1y and 3x. They don't represent parallel lines parallel to the x or y axis. See now, if I say x minus 4 is equal to 0, x minus 4 is equal to 0. This can represent the equation of a line parallel to the x or y axis, because see here, there is x, but there is no y. There is one x and 0 y. The coefficient of y is 0. I hope all of you understand that. In still simpler words, the equation of the x-axis is y is equal to 0. The equation of the y-axis is x is equal to 0. The equation of a line, let me write that, make a note of this. Yeah, I'll write it here, children. I just need some space to write. Okay, the equation of the x-axis is y is equal to 0. The equation of the y-axis is x is equal to 0. The equation of a line parallel to the x-axis, is y is equal to a. Or you say y is equal to b. Okay, let me write the y-axis first. 1 minute. Let me write y-axis first. The equation of a line parallel to the y-axis is x is equal to a. And the equation of, so x is equal to a, x is equal to some constant, x is equal to a number. The equation of a line parallel to the x-axis, parallel to the x-axis is y is equal to b. See, you can say mn also, some constant. It's some constant. So you can see if it is parallel to the y-axis, there is only x, there is one x, there is no y, 0 y. If it is parallel to the x-axis, there is y, there is one y, but no x, it is 0 x. There is no x at all, see there, it's 0 x. Children, it's time. Maybe if you have not written, okay, make a note of it quickly.
Completed, ma'am.
Yeah.
Completed, ma'am.
Completed, ma'am.
All right, children. Good. So here we'll just wind up with this one. So here, children, we know it's very clear that the line is parallel to the y-axis. So the equation will be like x is equal to something. It can be x is equal to b also. Now don't say, yeah, there was option x is equal to b, so I did not buy. It can be x is equal to any constant. Normally it is x is equal to a, y is equal to b. X is equal to a constant. If there is x, it will be 0 y. If there is y, it is 0 x. So here this is not possible because it is 1 y. And x also has a x is not 0. The coefficient of x is not 0. It's like 1x or 2x. So this is not possible. This is also not possible. X is equal to 0 is the equation of the y-axis. So this is the option. X is equal to a. This line is parallel to the y-axis, so it will be x is equal to a. And a is greater than 0, meaning a is positive. A is positive. Yeah, a is positive because it's on the right side. It's on the right side. If the same line, children, if the same line was given on this side, supposing m was here, you know, then the equation will be x is equal to a, but a less than 0 it will be. A is negative. It will be a less than 0 if it was on the left side. All right, children. We'll continue. We have up to 25, so we'll continue in the next class. Class user emoji, raise your hand. Netra, Sindhu, Sanjay, Danya, Madhumita, Tanushka, Krishni, Krishmika, Srijana, Raja, and Arjun. Very good. Very good, children. All right, children. So that's it for today's session. Thank you so much. You may leave the call.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, children.